Hey guys, what's up? It's Yami here from SSTCG. I'm gonna be bringing you guys a deck profile for what I brought to BCS Anaheim. It is Rushia Hololive, and let's get started. First up, I got 4 copies of Aqua. I think that every Hololive list needs to play Aqua. It is like the best Ricky in the set. If it's in center slot position, it gains 3,000 power, so it's a 35, so technically an oversize. And when it goes to waiting room, so if it gets reversed, goes to waiting room at like your encore phase or whatever, or you can even play over it if you need to. You choose a character in your waiting room and you put it to the bottom of your clock. If you do, you look at up to the top 2 cards of your deck. You add any Hololive characters you find there. So it's like it's a potential +2. It's a really cool card. I think every deck should at least play 4 of it. I'm technically playing 6, which brings me to the next card. Playing 2 Darkness. This is essentially the same card. It's from a promo booster. She's just yellow. That's pretty much the only difference, and a different name. So anyways, I play 6 of it because I want to get to level 1 before my opponent does. I would play more, but this is my friend Jake's deck, and he only has the 2 Darkness. So with that, let's move on. I'm playing 2 Rats. That's a pretty cool card. It's a on play or on death. Pay 1, discard 1. Look at up to the top 3 cards of your deck, and add any card you find there to your hand. So it's a really nice filter effect. Lets you get rid of cards that you don't want in your hand anymore. Helps you grab climaxes. That's about it. I don't play events in this deck, so it's only to try and grab climaxes. If for some reason I'm having trouble. I am playing 8 pants on this deck because I think Rushia needs all the climaxes in the world. The deck kind of falls apart if you can't get a climax, so that's why I'm running 8 pants. And this card right here just helps you further your game plan. Next up, I play 2 Drop Search. She's just a on play, pay 1, discard a card, search deck for Hololive character, add it to hand. She's also 3,500, so she's a pretty big oversize. These cards are pretty neat. They fulfill more multiple roles at level 0. And later on in the game. So it's just really cool effect. A lot of decks that play the oversize drop search I tend to play. It's convenient to have your level 0 beater to also help you out in the late game, so also it helps your selectivity. Then I play 2 Drop Salvage. This one's the newer-ish Drop Salvage, where on play, pay 1, discard a card, salvage a character, and then you can choose a character to get 1,000 power. She also mills 3 on play, so it's pretty good for deck speed. That's about it. It's nice that you have a deck that has salvage and search, so you can get to any of your zones if you need to. Moving on to Watame's. She helps get your climax. She's a climax swap. And yeah, I can't remember the second effect. When her damage is cancelled, you can put her to stock. Yeah, it helps you get stock. This deck, you're kind of paying 1 for a bunch of these effects. So having a card that can potentially get you stock is a pretty good idea. Next up, got 4 draw brainstorms. It's a brainstorm 5, so just tap self brainstorm 5. For each climax you hit, you draw, so it's not that great. The reason you play her is because she gives your Rushia, which if you're watching this, you probably know what Rushia does. Gives her 1000 power, so it makes her bigger. That's pretty much it. You also need her for the like advanced summon for Rushia. You have to have her and a 2/1 on board. So it's a pretty vital card for the deck. But yeah, that's it for level 0s. So I'm going to be moving into level 1s. For your level 1, I play 4 of the Pekro combo. This card's pretty cool. I have 2 or more Hololive characters, so all the time she's a 5/5. And she combos with this climax. Her combo is at the end of this card's attack. If there's no character facing her, or if the character facing her is reversed, you can look up to the top 4 cards of your deck and add a Hololive character. So it's not like the most like non-interactive combo at level 1, but it gets the job done. You have a few things that can help her out. Against standby decks, you can always just like go for more of like a Ricky. Just play more Rickies. Like Hololive's not a set where if you can't get your level 1 combo off, the deck's doomed. You can just play down your level 0 Ricky and get your pluses that way. Because you're trying to get to level 2 before your opponent anyway. It's pretty nice. The main reason I play this because it combos with pants. So it helps you grab this climax really often. It is a really good card. Next up, I play 4 Subarus. More deck speed. She's a experience if I have blue in my level. So leveling up from 0 to 1, I want to put blue in for my combo as well. So if I'm screwed at like 1-0 and I can't combo, it's good to have a blue combo at level 1. But yeah, her effect is I can discard a card when I play her. If I do look it up to the top 4 cards in my deck, add a level 1 or higher character. It's kind of restricted in terms of other sets that have similar effects. Also has a really good ability, so even with this handicap of level 1 or higher, it's still a really good card. I think it helps any Hololive deck that can run yellow should run this. Really good for consistency, helps your deck speed. If you're in a bad deck state, grab these. These can grab each other. You can loop them. Go through your deck if you need to. But yeah, that's it for level 1s. Oh, I forgot to mention her combo also can give a character 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So let's say your opponent has like a standby target out, like a 1/1 or something, you can attack in the offlane first, pump up your other one 1000 power, and contest the standby target at 75. So it's a pretty good effect. That's all my level 1s. Let's get into level 2s. I run 3 flares. This is the card that gets your Rushia out early. She's a level assist, 500, and she's also, her effect is, if I have this and the Brainstorm out, I can pay 2, tap both cards. If I do, then I can play a 3/2 Rushia from my hand. So she gets Rushia out for free at level 2 when she would usually not be able to. A really strong card. This is the only reason anyone should ever play Rushia. Rushia is good at level 2. She's pretty bad at level 3. Depending on what your opponent's deck state is at. Usually if you play Rushia, you want to play a couple off finishers, because not all the times are you going to have targets for your combo. Next up I play a removal, early play removal at level 2. Just a discard 2. Put your opponent's character to the bottom of their deck. Yeah, and she's a 2500 backup. Sometimes you just keep this in your hand for the 2500. Like if they can get over the 15-5 that Rushia is, or the 13. You can punish them, or at level 2 if you just want to take the slow game, which Rushia really does. You want to get rid of their cards so they can't do damage. Stay at level 2 extra turns. It helps. You don't really need hand very much with this deck. Your level 3 combo gets you hand. So, yeah, it's pretty neat. That's all level 2s I play. Let's get into level 3. I'm actually going to start off with the finisher. This is the Rushia. Her effect is if I have 2 or more other Hololive characters, so if I'm playing the game, she gains 1500 power and Hand Encore. So she's a 10-5 with Hand Encore. Hand Encore is good. Makes it so your opponent has to work harder to remove her from board instead of just reversing her. Her climax combo is with this one right here. It's when this card's placed on stage, I can either choose a card in my waiting room and put it to stage, or I can shuffle 4 cards into your opponent's deck and then salvage a character. So it's on climax play as well. So you just play this down, you grab another one of these at level 2, you get her out, you have 2 out at level 2. You try and snowball the next couple turns with it. Sometimes it doesn't work as planned, but there's sometimes where you need to just push more damage than anything. So you just go back for the shuffle back. I think it's a pretty consistent combo. If you're playing someone who has really good deck control, they can make sure that they never have a waiting room. So it's kind of hard to deal with a combo like this, because that's like the finishing potential, is to shuffle back. Yeah, that's about it for her. She gets really big. Like, the level assist gives her 1500, the brainstorm gives her 1000. The one that she summons from grave to stage, she gets 2500 power till the end of your opponent's next turn. So they're generally around 13,000 to 15,500. Which is the reason why I brought this to BCS. It's a really fat level 3 that can get rid of other level 3s relatively easy. Also, the combo is really consistent with 8 pants. Next up, we got 3 Marines. She's just a heal. Notable about her, she can heal. She's summoned out by this one's effect. So if she comes from waiting room to stage from this one's effect, she can also heal. And she has an effect where on attack, you can pay 1 ditch 1 to choose 3 characters and they gain 500 power and +1 soul. So she can help you push. She can help you push damage, especially with this next card I'm about to talk about. But generally, if you are playing Rushia, you want to play this too. You have to play the pirate. I would put her down to 2, but I feel like I just think it's more consistent at 3. You can play her at 2, but you're not always going to have her in the waiting room when you need her to. The next card, 2 Kali. She's a Musashi. The turn she comes out from hand to stage. If damage is cancelled, mill the top card of your deck. Burn your opponent X. X is times the amount of the level of the card milled +1. Climaxes count as level 0s. It's pretty good in this deck. Like if your opponent doesn't leave a lot of waiting room for your shuffle back. So like let's say you can only shuffle back like 3. You could just go for these instead. Like play these out. You can even use that with this. Give this +1 soul. So if this cancels, then you still get the burn effect on top of it. Yeah, it's really reliable. Like this card helps her, gives her soul in order to proc her effect, or if you stick damage, that's ideal. She also helps this. You shuffled back cards into your opponent's deck, so they're more likely to cancel, or more likely not to cancel. So this will pump this soul, and this will be able to stick big damage. Next up, we play this Watame. She has 2 climax effects. Her first being put a climax from your hand to waiting room. When this card's placed on stage from hand, choose a Hololive character in the waiting room, add it to hand. And her other effect is pay 1 when she's placed. I can salvage a climax, or search a climax. No, it's just salvage a climax. So just grab a climax from waiting room to your hand. Like I said, you really need this. You're going to be playing this every turn after level 2. Or during and after level 2. So cards that get that are really ideal. This can also get you characters. Yeah. Next up, I play a clock swap. Or stock swap. Just a on play, pay 1. Your opponent puts their stock in their waiting room, and then the top card's other deck equal to their stock goes into stock. Super cool card. Really good against certain matchups. Makes it so your opponent cannot compress by putting like everything in the deck into stock, or they're going to be really badly punished. I believe she has a power effect. When I use an act, this card gets 1000 power times the amount of my other characters. So she gets really big if I use like an act. So like a brainstorm or anything like that, like a backup. It's pretty good. Next up I have another Watame. This card's pretty sick. She's an early play. If I have 4 more other characters, and she bounces things. When this card's placed on stage from hand, reveal top card of your deck. You may choose a level 3 or lower character in your opponent's center stage and put it to the bottom of their deck. So it's a hard removal. It gets around things like, well, Rushia, for instance. It can't choose things with hexproof, obviously. It's super consistent against things where you're fearing like a memory counter. Or even if your opponent's holding a free fresh counter, you can bounce one of their lanes out, so your first attack is guaranteed to stick before they can use their free fresh. It gets around a bunch of things like tap counters, money counters, anything really. Super unique card. Yeah, that's about it. This is the deck. It's pretty good. I didn't do too well at BCS. This was my very first BCS I went to. I usually don't play English. There's not a lot of sets in English that I like. That's why I'm using my buddy's deck. I used my buddy's deck. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good deck. Yeah, if you got any questions or anything, leave a comment, and thank you guys for watching.